Hello, everyone. Welcome to Harmonic Heart. We're a music blog dedicated to showcasing musician stories and talent. I'm your host, Chris Mallett. I'm excited to have artist D. Gibs on the show today for an interview. D. Gibs is an artist from Maryland, and his new album, Love Me Now, is set to release this month in October 2020. Welcome, man.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
Yeah, man, this is great. Excited to have you here. Yeah, and we just actually just connected over Instagram, and we're both DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia based artists.
Yeah, from the DMV, baby.
Hey, haha. Um, man, so yeah, I'm excited to learn about your music journey. I was reading on your website that the Sister Act had a lot to do with you really getting involved with music, and I'd love to hear more about that. Like, what was that like when you first
Uh,
watched it, and what like enthralled you, and how did that kind of spark this music right here, man?
okay, so oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that being part of my journey. Okay, so basically, I was like age 10 probably, and it was a summer day, and I had like a gray t-shirt on, like blue jeans, like blue shorts. I can remember it was a clear like
I
blue sky
see.
day.
Wow.
And I was watching a movie, and I'm like, okay, nuns dancing, okay, whatever. This should be weird. And my age at the time, it's like the early 2000s, and so I didn't have a lot of money growing up as a kid, so we would always go thrifting for movies and stuff like that. So it was a VHS of the movie. So we had a VCR and everything. So when
Yeah.
I say I feel like I was born in the wrong time period, I feel like I was born in the wrong time period.
Oh, man.
So I put the VHS in,
Mhm.
and so I'm watching it with my younger brother. So he's about 5, I'm 10. And so we're watching it, and I'm just like, okay, And so I'm like, it starts out it's a singing montage in the beginning. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's catchy. Do 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 do. Whenever I'm with him, something inside's a burning. Ooh, I'm like, okay, this is dope.
Yeah.
So I'm watching it, it has a plot and it's thickening and it has all this, all the great dancing and the musical, and then it also has the religious, it's religious based, I guess you can say.
Mhm.
And so when I watched it, I was like, okay, it's keeping me entertained, as a 10-year-old. I'm like, okay, well, all right, my attention span not that long, but okay, I'm involved.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I watch it, and I'm just taken in by all the singing part, because I'm like, wow, like these people really are not playing with me. Like they got them right. Acapella, do 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 do, alto, soprano, you just your part. It was really, it was an experience that I never felt the same afterwards, honestly, because I was like, wow, I've never seen anybody, or I would say I never seen music in that way before. I've always like, listen to this, listen to music in a car or listen to music on the radio when my mom plays it in the house. But to see it presented that way in front of me was like, what just happened? So when the
Um,
movie was over, I was like, wait. I gotta watch that again. So I used to watch it, and watch it, and rewind it, and watch it until one day it broke. But
wow. Wow.
but I was just so taken back by the fact that I've been to church before, but the choirs in this movie was different. Like they were all little white nuns, and Whoopi Goldberg was that one black nun, and
Right.
it was just, I don't know, it was different, and I was just like, whoa,
Mm.
this is crazy, and I think I like it.
Mm. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of elements of the movie really stuck out to you. It's interesting.
Yeah.
She was, Whoopi Goldberg was, I mean, her character was, a leader and had that type of influence over those nuns. And
Yeah, I think it was her strong, like her presence as well as like her attitude. And it was like it's like, okay, well, look, I'm a damsel in distress. Yes, things have happened in the beginning, but look, you know, we here for a reason, and this is what y'all gonna do. This is what we need to do to get it done. And so I like the the character as a whole, and I like the plot as a whole, and I like all the movie components that came along with the movie to present it the way it did. I love the movie actually. It's not one of my favorite movies, but it is definitely a staple in my career.
um, how do you think that movie has influenced your artistry?
Wow. I would say the fact that the songs were so upbeat in the beginning, and then towards the middle of the movie, the songs were kind of like, you know, throwbacks like 1960s eras of you know, arrangements and music and all that good stuff. So I think it influenced me in a way of kind of taking the non-traditional route to kind of make it your own. So like for instance, in the montage where they're singing in the choir, I will follow him wherever he may go. Ooh, there isn't an ocean to the mountain so high he can be, keep me away.
Yes,
And it's
both
like,
those.
okay, the
Okay.
original was way different. The 1960s version is like, you know, real.
Well, you're freezing up on us here, but you're back. It looks like.
Oh, oh, can you hear me?
I
Oh,
can hear you. I can hear you.
oh, can you hear me?
You can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, you hear me?
yes,
Oh, you okay.
yes.
I think we're going in and out. But so yeah, I didn't realize that song was out before, like in the 60s, you said? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the it's by some group. I can't remember the name right now, but it's like an old song,
Oh,
and it's so
okay.
funny that they kind of made it like a, you know, a song to fit, you know, a group of all
Right.
these women have basically making a choir song. I was like, what?
Hmm.
Wait a minute. And so to me, it was like, wow, this is cool. I may be wrong. Hey,
Oh, I
don't
mean,
crucifix me if I'm
no,
wrong with the time period, but
I'm
I'm
sure
pretty
you're
sure it's a
right.
1960 song.
No, I mean, yeah, no, I believe you. I just I'm just showing how little I know about music. But yeah, um, no, that's really interesting. That makes sense. Let me see. Let me see. Hmm. Mhm. That's a good point. And it seems like, you as an artist, you're working to have your own lane and to be able to merge genres and do incorporate various elements.
Yeah, I like that. I like growing up. I always was exposed to R&B. So like my major influences, you know, were like Luther Vandross and Toni Braxton. Of course, Toni Braxton was a crazy, 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 crazy artist, and I still love her today. And Mariah Carey and who else were my inspirations? So mixed with Brandy, you will hear a lot of Brandy like in some of the things that I do going forward in my career. And because I have a lot of stuff I've been working on recently, I have like a huge catalog of music that I haven't even released yet. It's like 50 some songs
Oh, wow.
that I just make for fun. But it's, you know, it's me.
Mm.
And I just had a major influence in all those R&B people. And I feel like when you listen to their music, it adapted and changed with the times, but it was always them because you knew about their voice, their diction, their enunciation, their background, their their persona, that when they, as soon as they hit the track, it's like, okay, you know, oh, that's Tony. Oh, I know who that is. Oh, that's Luther. I know who that is. What? That's Mariah. You hear that? You hear that note? You hear that?
Right.
What's that up? Yeah, that's Mariah.
Mm, I love that. One thing I'm really curious about, and you know, one of the things that inspired this podcast is the early stages, of artist development. So you said around 10 years old, you're enthralled by Sister Act. And
Yeah.
then, here we are, clearly talented singer, and you approach your writing conceptually. And here we are, with Love You Now, essentially 15 years later. So I'm kind of curious.
Don't tell my age now.
Hey, I mean,
Whew, I'm
it's
sweating.
it's on, the website.
I already know about. No, I understand. I understand.
But you know, so what were some of the yeah, would you say? I don't know. Yeah, just I'm curious about kind of what were the in between stages and how did you kind of grow your skills and develop?
Um. So funny story. The in between stages were from 10 to now. I of course, you know, had high school. I went to a military academy. I did go to a traditional high school. So
What
I
kind
did,
of
you know,
academy
all
did you
the
say?
a military academy. So I did, you know, all the ROTC stuff.
Oh,
But unfortunately, I couldn't go into the army due to me having asthma. So I basically found something else to do. So I went to college and I actually have a bachelor's degree in interior design.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it wasn't so this I'm building everything. So
I see. Sure.
a year, the program was for 4 years. Sorry, 5 years. And basically the halfway mark, I was like, hey, well, you know what? This is not something that I feel like I would consider myself doing, forever, because I felt like it was more of um a have to than a want.
Mm,
And so I just was like, okay, well, what else can I do that brings me joy, and I won't have to feel like it's being forced upon me. And in that moment, it wasn't forced upon me, but it's like, well, you got all the student loans, you got all this money, you gotta finish your degree, you better figure it out.
yeah.
And so I finished the degree, but I felt like at the midway mark, I was like, this is not for me. I can remember vividly because it was like springtime, and I just was like, okay, this is not something I want to do. And I used to always put my music in while doing my work, and I would always put Pandora on when that was still a thing. Pandora's not a thing anymore, but
Yeah.
and so I would put Pandora on and listen to my R&B people and my pop people, and I just was like, this is music. Music is always something that I've always had an interest in, but I never really took it like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do music. Oh, okay. So, and then when I was in college, I was like, you know what? There's something else that's out there for me that I know I'm going to be crazy at. And so I just kind of finished my degree, and then fast forward to a couple of years after graduation, okay, well, I gotta figure out something else I'm gonna do, because you get older every single day. You're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe I should do music. And so I started writing, and um, not to leap backwards, but in elementary school, I used to like write poems all the time. And one of my poems actually was published. One of my poems was published in a book. So writing was easy to me. It's just expressing your feelings and what you want to talk about.
Mm,
And so when I started writing music, it just was like, okay, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to write a song. And so I started researching, and then Taylor Swift article that came up about how she writes her songs and how she basically takes experiences from herself and from people she knows, and she basically, just craft the song. And so I was like, well, that's actually a good idea. So then I went and I just started thinking about all the stuff that I've been through, or just all the things I know about in general. And so I just started writing music, and so writing stories. So I didn't feel like a song; it felt like me just telling the story.
mm,
And so yeah, and so then after that, after graduation, I graduated in 2017. So between 2018 and 2019, yeah, I worked on the those rough tracks that was on SoundCloud, and a couple of other singles that are probably on my YouTube somewhere buried down somewhere in there. And so that's just what I've been doing. And then fast forward to 2020, because actually I've done a lot. So last year I was a daycare teacher. And I work with the toddlers. And so due to, our public health crisis, hashtag COVID, I was basically permanently released my job. So I was like, okay, well, I got to figure out what's my next step.
yeah.
And so I was like, well, I want to do this album. I want to do this music. I want to do this. And I saved up so much money to be able to record in the studio. And then when it got worse, like the numbers were spiking, I was like, well, I can't go with anybody's studio right now.
Mm,
So I developed my own. And so, all this back here
hey.
is D Gibs, the science lab back here.
Oh, okay.
Um, I just went and I purchased the stuff, and I just did research, and I just figured out, I mean, honestly, I don't know what I'm doing, but
Hey. Yeah.
I have fun with it. And so people are like, how do you know where to put that at? Or how do you know like what key that is? I don't, but I just have fun, and I do it based on what I think it should sound like. So
Mm,
it's like basically when you're blind and you don't have vision, but your senses have, tripled in your
mm,
hands and your touch, and you feel. That's how I feel. That's how I think. That's how it works. It's like, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. I can
right.
tell you the first. I can tell you. I cannot tell you the first thing about reading a sheet music or yeah, all that good stuff. I don't know none
Right.
of it, but I
Yeah.
know what feels right.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. That's fascinating. So, I mean, this setup you have here, that's just from like a couple months ago then.
Yeah, I started working on Love Me Now, I think in, I would say, March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
wow.
immediately. I was like, I gotta go. So
You were
March,
on it. You were like, I'm about to do this album.
yeah. So March, I started working. Excuse me, and I had a couple of hiccups along the road due to producers and all that good stuff. So I started basically producing my own self. So all my beats that you hear, or my music, that's all me.
Oh, I
And the
was gonna
arrangement,
ask. Oh,
yep. The beats all me, the arrangements all me, the vocals are all me, the storytelling is all me. It's all me. When it's out there, it's all me.
wow, wow.
So I just
That's
have fun with it.
fascinating. Wow, that's my goodness. No, that's impressive, man. I mean that, I've listened to, yeah, 4 singles that you put out leading up to the album, and to, learn that learned how to do most of that in just a couple of months. That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, the first month was like a little bit of denial. Like, okay, I can't do this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and this is not for me. And I need to pick and choose my battles, and I felt like that wasn't one of them. So I had to tell myself, at the end of the day, if you want something done, you might have to do it yourself. And if you feel like this is for you, and this is what you want to do with your life, you need to figure out a way, and you need to create an avenue. You need to figure something out. And so I just kept playing around with it, and so things started to go click, things started clicking. I'm like, oh, this is how you do it. And so from then on, that's it. Can't tell me nothing. So you're
Wow.
gonna.
I
So
know.
funny thing is, oh
Mhm.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's an empowering feeling. That's all I was gonna say. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the fact that so on Love Me Now, you're going to hear the first portion of the album I did over the summer.
Mm,
And in the second portion, you'll hear I just finished up this fall. So you're gonna hear a distinct difference in the producing of it because I just started figuring out how to make beats in the beginning of the album. And then somewhere like between tracks, I think six, seven, eight, nine, and 10, you're like, oh, it gets better. It gets way better.
mm,
So, and the funny thing is, I was like a little on the fence about releasing it because I'm like, I don't want it to sound like mismatch. I don't want to be like, hot and cold. But then I was like, you know what? It tells the story of me, and it also shows my growth as an artist. So I'm going to keep it that way.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really interesting. And yeah, it's part of the story. Um,
yeah.
that's great. Oh, ooh, you shouldn't have told me that. We're about to go in now. I'm about to ask you some
Ow!
details, man.
Okay.
But before we get to the production details and all that, yeah, curious to know. I mean, you said you, yeah, I'm curious to know how you, essentially approached the album. You said around March, you said, you know what, I really want to do music. I really want to do sound. Let me just do the album. Were you just making songs for the sake of songs? Did you already know the concept that you wanted for the album, and like the different themes you wanted to hit on? How did the songs come together, and how did you approach that?
Oh, okay. So the album was already written. The album was like already written. Um I knew what I wanted to talk about, and I most of the album was honestly written between um October to I think December of 2019. And so January, I was probably just finishing up like maybe like the last one or two songs. And so February came, I was like, okay, well, I still want to do my album, and I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna save my money. And so then when the whole crisis that happened or whatever, I had a little bit of free time in between, you know, everything going on to kind of save up money. And so I had basically already had my songs written, and I said, okay, I want to talk about this. And so the funny thing is, the album title wasn't even an title I originally wanted. I put a post on Instagram saying, "Hey, what do y'all think the album should be?" I had the option was Midnight Dreams or Love Me Now, and so it was like an unanimous vote. It was like Love Me Now. I'm like, y'all sure? Y'all sure? Y'all sure? Y'all sure y'all don't want Midnight Dreams? But it was like, yeah, let's do Love Me Now. So I was like, all right, well, and it became Love Me Now.
Mm, that's cool. You involved your supporters with that decision.
Yeah, I was a little salty. I'm like, y'all couldn't pick Midnight Dream, whatever. But You know,
Yeah.
Let Me Now
What
works
did you
too.
like about Midnight Dreams?
Um, I like that Midnight Dreams created a curiosity. So it's my name their album Midnight Dreams. Like Midnight Dreams. So okay, well when you're at midnight, you know, either you're supposed to be sleeping or you probably, you know, late night snacking on something. Like, you know, it's so many questions that you can, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
can put together for just listening
Mhm.
to Midnight Dreams. But the
Yeah.
same thing I can say for Love Me Now. It's like why you demanding somebody to love you now? What's going on? Why you want love?
Right.
So it
Hmm.
works out.
Yeah. Um, Man, that's interesting. You know, yeah, I'm curious then. So you wrote the songs without music underneath them.
Yes. So I have been writing that way since, oh man, since high school actually. Since I started writing, I guess you would say the stories, I kind of
Mm,
just started writing. I kind of wanted it to be like, okay, well, I don't want the music to be influenced by it. I want to tell the story and then make it fit into this melody. I don't want it to be like, okay, I mean, you won't even tell honestly when I put the song together and it's finished. You wouldn't be able to tell where to start or where it ends at because I'm so good at doing it. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm really good at doing that.
mhm,
So I just want to make sure that, okay, the story, my statement, my purpose is clear first, and then we can go in and we're gonna make it work like that.
That's great. Wow.
So it's untraditional. I know people be like, "Oh, I'm going to studio and I listen to this beat and I'm gonna write to it." And to me, it's like, no, I need to write. I need to figure out what I want to talk about first. I can write to a beat if I want to, but
Mm,
I feel like I need to make sure my point is clear first.
mm, mm. That's interesting. Yeah, I've done it both ways. You know, written the
Yeah,
full song and then put music underneath. I
yeah.
mean, we haven't. I don't think we touched on it yet in the interview, but you're an overall artist. You're also an actor and a model as well. Um,
Yes.
you know, and you know, the way you talk about writing, I just had the question of if you would, you know, essentially write like for TV or write for films and things like that. Could you see your writing going in that direction too with the storytelling?
Wow, absolutely. If the opportunity presented itself, absolutely. I used to write stories. Like I said, I used to write stories like little mini stories, and they would just be like somewhere in a journal somewhere, and I would just be like, oh, whatever, it is what it is.
Mm,
So I would definitely be able to like rise to the occasion. If someone says, hey, we need someone to direct this episode, or just write a few pages for the script. Like what?
mm,
What? I'm there. Absolutely. Let's do it. I'm always open to trying new things because I feel like you never know what doors they may open for you.
mm, mm. Yeah, I mean, that being said, I feel like when I watched, yeah, you put out your video for Bad Guy, I felt like I was able to see kind of all those things come together. Um, Conceptually, like what the song was about, um, shown through with the video. And I feel like you, did you direct that or did you come up with that, video yourself, the concept?
Yes and yes.
Oh, okay, great. Well, yeah. So, that being said, the way that you were able to, one, you have like this, you know, I guess breaking it down, you had this idea of Bad Guy, you wrote the
Mhm.
song, and applying it to the video, you were able to see, essentially like the mob boss or drug person or I don't know, whatever, like
Yeah.
the bad guy, and then just the different characters, how it plays out, the girlfriend and all these things, just from a writing conceptual standpoint, the way put that video together, also with your style, like the different ways you're dressing and just the different characters are showing through and with your acting and some modeling as well. um, so that I feel like that just really showed you as like an overall artist.
Yeah, I mean, I always say I have fun with it, but I honestly have fun with it because I can't take myself too serious. When you take yourself too serious, that's when you start picking yourself apart. And so I just have fun with it. And originally, I'm not gonna lie, it's been Bad Guy was on the cutting floor for about 3 weeks.
Mm,
And I honestly did not want to take that long on editing, but it took me 3 weeks. It took me the first week with filming it, the second week, I was like, okay, I don't know what direction I'm going with this video. Like, I had a clear vision going into it, and somewhere in the midst of everything, it got lost. So I went back and I re-recorded new stuff. So it took about an extra week to get everything together. And so I, hammered it out. I think about it took me 4 days, I think, 4 days to edit it. And it was just like, okay, my eyes are wide open. I'm tired, but I'm still gonna keep going. And I did it. I mean, I'm kind of surprised myself, but
Yeah. Well, is that the first video that you've done yourself?
yes, that's the first video
Oh, wow.
that I directed. I developed, conceptualized, scouted out the locations, the wardrobe, the makeup, the hair. So I mean, I'm useful because I'm a independent model, so I'm used to being all those roles at one time. So it was nothing to me. Like, okay,
Mm,
nothing.
that's really interesting. That is one of the questions I had was how does acting, how does modeling, um, with music, what are the similarities? Like, do they come from a similar place? And um, yeah, what is the overlap between them?
Excuse me. I think the overlap is that when I am, excuse me, I'm sorry, I had like dinner earlier. The common factor I think is the fact that when I'm modeling and I put these clothes on or I put this hair on or this makeup on, whatever, I turn into a different person. I'm no longer me. I'm me still, yes, but I'm a different person. I'm who the photographer wants me to be or who I want to be in that moment. So not that I have, personality disorder, but I tap into, I guess you would say, a character. And so I become, the clothes become who I am. I'm no longer, this shy. Honestly, in real life, I'm a shy guy. I don't talk to other people. I'm shy. I'm a little awkward. I'm a little quirky. I'm a little goofy. I'm a little clumsy. That's who I am. But when I'm a model, it's like, okay, I'm strong and I'm bold and I'm here and, my presence is known. So it's honestly a character. It's like how Beyonce has an alter ego,
Mm,
Sasha Fierce. It's kind of like that.
yeah,
You turn it on and off.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you definitely do project confidence in your modeling. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, but that's interesting. I'm not,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but honestly, I'm a shy person.
yeah, that's
So that's fun. That's
interesting.
the funny part.
That is funny. Um, you know, I guess on a surface level, it's surprising, but I think, artists tend to be, more on the introverted side,
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I am very, reserved and calm and soft spoken and introverted. And, sometimes it surprises people how much I go on stage and perform and to, crowds and stuff like that. And I don't know. But yeah, no, that makes sense that, that
I
is
think. But see, the thing with that is, I think when you're an artist and you are one way, but when you're on the stage, it's like it's different because you know that this is what you were born to do. Like this is something that I know I was born to do. I was born to be an artist. I was born to inspire people. This is what I was
right.
born to do. So
Right.
when you get on that stage, you get on that mic, you're like, okay, well, look, I gotta show out. Show up and show out. But you better show up and show out. Or it
Hmm.
ain't for you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, people like have asked me like, how do you do that? And I mean, my answer is I've been wanting to do this since I was, a teenager at least,
Right.
like I want to be on stage and I want to, be seen. So, no, but, you know, is that's interesting, in terms of, yeah, being shy and introverted. What about, so do you plan to take the same approach with your other song, like your other videos for your songs in terms of, doing it all yourself?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I have fun. I have a little bit of a control issue, so I definitely like doing things myself sometimes. But I definitely would love, support and help, if need be. But I mean, I definitely feel like I have to be able to top myself because that guy is really, really good. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, my dad just texted me earlier today and was like, "What was the reason behind the switch up of the car scene to the house with the me as this monster, I guess?" And I said, the funny thing is that, media always paints the villain, which is always a character, to be the bad guy. So that's kind of where it went. And he was like, oh,
Mm.
okay, that makes sense. I was like, yeah. See?
Yeah, I was very impressed with, yeah, with the Bad Guy video. It's like, oh, okay, wow, whoa, all right, like, yeah, man.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I felt like the song is so the song is so descriptive, and it's the song is already so vividly painted for the listener. It's like I have to be able to deliver that, and I felt like, funny story, Bad Guy was actually written on an airplane headed to Michigan.
Hmm. Really? So
Yeah.
tell me about that. That's
So so the song was written. I went to Detroit, Michigan, I think in January. January. So I went, and it's like early January, so it was still chilly outside. And mind you, my clothes that I wore for the shoot were like summertime, so I was freezing, and it was bad, but it was fun. It was bad, it was fun. So I written That Guy on the plane there, and I'm always a busybody, so I'm like, whenever somebody's like, you need to go to bed, you need to lay down, you need to chill out, I'm like, no, something I got to do. And so I was okay. Well, I'm still, two songs short of my album because I know I want to do 10 songs. So I was like, okay, well, what else can I talk about? And so I started writing Bad Guy. So then I was like, okay, I was in the air. So I'm like, cold winds, black hoodie, yeah, he going big. Need that money quick, fast, just to feed his kids. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then I kept going. And I was like, okay, I can talk about the unconditional love of a father. And people don't ever mention that. And people always say, a mother loves unconditional. She'll love you no matter what you say, what you do, in and out, rich or poor, do. She'll always love you. But guess what? A dad's love is different. People feel like, well, my dad gonna only love me if I play soccer, or, my dad gonna only love me if I bring home this girl. It's like, no. Sometimes you gotta say, my dad will love me. Sometimes dad gotta say, hey, I love you regardless. And that's, I feel like, what it is. Dads sometimes get underappreciated. I'm not gonna say, mom's job not important. Mom's job is definitely important. Support. Shout out to all the moms out there, all the single moms, all the Black moms, white moms, Asian moms, Spanish moms, everybody. Yes. Shout out to all the moms because your job is important.
Yes.
But so is the dads. So is the dad. Somebody go, oh well, he don't need you. He got me. It's like, well, wait a minute, because dads are important. Sometimes moms abandon their kids too. Or sometimes the moms just say, well, I don't care. You'll do what you want to do. It's like, wait a minute. But the funny thing is, in the Black community, the dad is always seen as, this figure who either is absent or doesn't care. Yeah. It's like, that's not fair. There's good dads out there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's an important message. Yeah,
so I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a dad myself, but I feel like I can empathize with a single father who can do and will do anything he can for his child if need be. That's why the chorus is good, bad, ugly, it's all the same. No one is safe.
Yeah. Yeah. That's deep. Yeah, that's interesting.
It got deep. Yeah, I got deep real quick.
It is, yeah.
Got deep real quick.
Man, I appreciate it. Yeah. And that song too is I feel like it's also something I want to like sit with more and about. And was there like also like a racial element in that song as well, would you say? I guess, people can like bring whatever, they like when you look at art, like, 5 people can look at it and like see something different, based off of their own background and experiences.
I wouldn't say it's a racial I wouldn't say it's a racial particle in it at all. It's honestly just about a parent in general, but in particular a single father. So I didn't write it like, oh, this is for Black fathers in mind. I wrote it just for fathers in general because there's a lot of great fathers out there who I feel like they don't get the credit they deserve, and sometimes mom take all the credit, and that's good. Mom deserves it. Mom carried you for 9 months, and she pushed you out with your big head. No, so I appreciate that. Mom, get your credit all day, every day. Let's be Mother's Day every day. But still, I feel like the dad sometimes don't get the credit that they deserve.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad I asked and you clarified. Yeah, sweet. Man, so much. I mean, I'm thinking of, to talk about.
Yeah, keep them coming.
Yeah, well, let's say, yeah, I want to talk some more about the music. So how did it come about, you developing, the music? We can even stick with Bad Guy, since we're talking about it.
Okay. How did the music come as far as writing the song or just the concept of it?
So like, um, hmm, well, yeah, was that, well, you said you were writing it on, the plane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if, there was, more to that story, but even like kind of the beat, how did, you create the beat underneath it? And
Oh, okay. So yeah, I was writing on the plane, and I've written like half the song when the flight was over. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll go back to it because I gotta go to work. So I went to bed when I got to my hotel. So I woke up, did my job, woo, woo, got back on the plane, headed back home because it was like a weekend trip. And so Sunday was okay. Well, what am I gonna do with this song, Bad Guy? Because it's so good. And sometimes I have these things, these moments where I'll write a song so good, first verse is so good, and then I get stuck at the chorus. I'm like, damn, how can I do this?
Mhm.
So I went and I kind of just fiddled around with it a little bit more, and so until I finally came with, bad guy, good, bad, ugly, it's all the same. No one is safe. And I was like, you know what? That makes sense because anybody can tap into that bad guy role. Anybody can be a bad guy. Honestly, we've all played the bad guy at work. We had to tell somebody, well, you're fired. You might got to tell somebody, oh, your breath stink. Oh, you got to tell somebody, oh, you need to wash your ass. You just tell somebody, well, you got book in your nose. That's the bad guy. We played the bad guy before. Everyone has played the bad guy before,
Yeah, yeah, right.
under any circumstances.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. When I was listening to the SoundCloud songs, I
Uh-huh.
noticed you also have some jokes, like some humor that you put in your music sometimes.
Yeah, I like to. I feel like the funny thing is, I used to be like, okay, okay, I used to love R&B music. Yes, soothing and cool, and and calming, relaxing. I guess that's cool. But I also feel like I don't know. I just feel like my energy and my style is so different, and I like to be able to tell a story. I like to be able to keep it interesting too. So I put little, I guess it's jokes in there, or I'll put like me laughing at something, or me saying something crazy. So um, I just I don't know. I just feel like music today, mainstream music today is just a little too boring. It's repetitive, it's boring, and I always struggle, and this is the current thing I struggle with, how to kind of repeat the chorus without it sounding so repetitive and so boring. So with me, I always throw an extra instrument in somewhere, or I'll add background somewhere else there, or I'll go up a key or whatever.
Hmm, hmm. What do you think about Donald Glover and Childish Gambino?
I like Donald Glover. I like This Is America. I'm not really a huge fan of him. I haven't really sat down and honestly I've listened to I think it's Redbone album, I think it's called. I never really sat
Yeah.
down and listened to any of his music like on my own. So that honestly should be like my homework for this weekend. Just kind of sit down and really listen to his stuff. Because you were saying that you kind of can hear him and me. And I'm like, oh, that's a huge thing for you to say.
Man, I mean, the more, even as I'm getting to know you, I'm just seeing similarities between just you as artists. I think your voices sound the same, but I think I think you should listen to. We'll talk about this right now.
Okay.
uh, um, I mean, as you know, Donald Glover, he is an actor.
Yeah.
You're an actor, and he obviously, musician, like singer, writer, rapper. He has a lot about, I guess, for him, at the base of it is he's a writer. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how you know, he writes his, well, he wrote for like 30 Rock and other shows and stuff. He obviously wrote Atlanta, um, that show. And then he writes his songs and albums. So his albums are conceptual.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and hmm, hmm, it's just, yeah. So I would think, oh yeah, but for his album, Because the Internet, he also, along with it, he included a screenplay as well. So it was like you listen to, essentially like you read the screenplay and it's like, about some guy, and then in the screenplay it'll be like, now play this song. And then
Oh,
you'll play this song from the album, and then you keep reading and then play this song. So it's kind of like the album with a movie, but it's a screenplay type thing.
oh
Um,
wow.
yeah. So, and that was Because of the Internet. So that was his second album. Um, but yeah, some of like your voice sounds like from his EP that came out after Because of the Internet. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it was called the Kwai EP.
Okay, I'll check that out.
So I would say that. Yeah, and I could even afterwards I'll send you something. But
Okay.
just he considers himself, like an overall artist, and you do as well. So
yeah, I mean, you box yourself into something, then I feel like people will only know you as that, and then when you try to do something different, it's like, whoa, 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 this has changed. What are you doing? This is not you. This is not what we known you. This is not what we known you as. Like, what are you doing? This is not what you usually wear. This is not how you usually sound. This is not what you do on stage. Like, what is going on? What is with your hair? You know, it's when you switch it up too much on the fan, they're like, what is going on? So you gotta ease them into it, which is why I feel like I don't want to box myself into anything. I may throw the EDM song next week. You don't never know.
Yeah. Honestly, even the way you rap though sounds like him as well. That's a key, but he also like he is all about like switching up kind of from project to project. So like the album with like Redbone sounds really different than the EP before, and like that EP sounds different than Because of the Internet. So yeah.
I feel like that's important though. You have to grow. Your sound has to grow. If you stay complacent in your sound, it's like, okay. Then I feel like people be like, okay, well, we heard that before. This about 3 times over. We heard this already. Oh, let me guess. You're gonna do a high note there. Okay, let me guess. You're gonna talk about gun control again. Not to say that's not a good thing to talk about, but just you have to grow as an artist. You have to keep growing and still try to reach new heights, but still make it you. And you have to be able to challenge yourself. I feel like that's a major thing. You have to be able to challenge yourself, because when you say, okay, well, I'm just a rapper. I only rap about trap. All right, I'm gonna talk about me shooting my homies 5 times in 5 different songs. It's like, okay, that's nice, cool. Do what you do. But at the same time, that's gonna wear out. And it's like, okay, do you have anything else? Like for instance, I like a song by what is his name? He dated Regina Carter. What is his name? I know his name. YFN Lucci, I think his name is.
I don't think I know him.
He's a rapper, and his song "Let Me Know." I like that song. Or "Date Night." He's a rapper, but he has like different songs where you can vibe out to. You don't gotta. It ain't so aggressive all the time. So that's I feel like people want to relate to you more if you're more versatile. If you write about the same 3 stuff in every other song, it's like, okay, all right, let me guess. You went down the street and you cooking your crack on the pot. Like, okay, I got you. That's cool. Do what you do. But is there something for the R&B people out there? Is there something for the people who want to go, and shake their ass? Or is there something for, there's something for everybody? And I feel like you got to be that artist. And if not, then that's cool too. Hey, you know your niche.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that for sure in terms of growing as an artist. And, because people have that hunger, or people are multidimensional and have different sides to them. So, if you're only putting out one type of thing, people will come to you for that, but they're gonna go to someone else to get something else. But if you can offer more, then they can stick around you longer.
Right. I say for a prime example, Drake. When Drake first came out, I better find your loving, I better find your heart. That was my shit. That was my shit. I heard on the radio, wow, shut up. I better find your loving, I better find your heart. I was like, oh yeah. So he hooked you in with that, and then he had so much more to offer you. So to me, it was like, well, this is great. And that's why he's become one of the biggest artists, because he knows how to adapt. Still keeping him, still keeping his sound, but he knows how to adapt.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. And Beyonce and Bruno Mars stuck out to me as well, as artists who are good at doing that. Like just on their album, you can tell just throughout the album that they hit on like different genres. So I think that's important.
Yeah, that's definitely important.
Let me see.
Well, since my album comes out on Monday, I guess I can kind of talk you through it. So So the first song, so it first starts in as an intro, and kind of just sums up everything about what are you gonna hear. And so it goes into Go Getter. Go Getter is energetic, it's fun, it's funky, 70s vibe. You got Bad Guys, that's next. Bad Guys. So a Bad Guy is really, I feel like it's experimental rap because the beat is so sonic. It's something you never heard before. I feel like I never heard it before. And so it's really dark and kind of gory, but it's not so dark we like turned off. It's like, okay, it's fun, it's light. And then you got Funny Thing, which is, your traditional R&B slow, sad love song. Goes to my interlude. And then it comes back with Say It. Say is basically talking about, like pleading, like, please, if you need me, please say it. Say it right now.
Okay.
And then you go from Say It to don't quote me because I'm probably off with numbers. I know I've written it one way and I arranged it another way. After Say It, I believe it's going to be More. More is basically about, self-worth. Like saying, you know what? You did me dirty. You know what? I deserve more than this. I deserve more than this.
I love that. Yeah.
So More is a little more of an R&B, up mid-tempo. And then we have Bedroom. Bedroom's real slow and sexy. It's another R&B track, but it's also fun. It's still rap, but it's still a little bit catchy little hook into it. And then it ends with Hate You, basically saying, you know what? Once again, you did me wrong. And you know what? I hate you for this. So you can go.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
You can go.
Yeah. For real. Wait, I missed
so,
what about Good Vibes? Where's that one?
So Good Vibes is just a single that I was working on, and I had fun with it. I was like, I'm gonna put it out to people, see how it goes. And so Good Vibes is not on the album. Okay. So Good Vibes is a separate entity as a whole, but I just wanted to put it out. It's just something fun.
I see. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, thank you for going through that. How did you come to like arrange them in that way, like sequence them and come up with the different concepts?
So I written everything how I wanted it to sound originally. I was like, okay, track one gonna be this, track two gonna be. So I basically written it about so basically the common factor is love. And the common factor is the different categories of love and what it can bring: happiness, sadness, joy, ecstatic, misery, grief, hate. And so Love Me Now is a perfect title actually for it. And so basically I written it and how I wanted to talk about things. So like I want to talk about, being fun, excited, sad, do. So I basically listed and then I written it from that way. So when I arranged it, it's somewhat different as far as in when it's being distributed digitally. It's a little different as far as in tracks, but more so towards the end of it. The beginning is still the same. The first 5 songs, I think, the beginning is still the same, which is those last 3 or 4. I kind of like switched it around.
Okay. Okay. And that's great. I feel like I want to hear more about.
Yeah, come on, keep asking the questions. That's a lot of backstories.
Yeah, more about the concepts. But let's talk about. Yeah, tell us about Funny Thing. Yeah.
Funny Thing. So, Funny Thing. I was making the instrumental for Funny Thing. I think this was around I want to say June. And I was like, I want something that's, real light and airy, and I still want to be, R&B and slow and sad. And so you hear like the violins in there, and you'll hear the harps in there, and you'll hear what else is in there? It's like there's pianos in there. It's so many things, so many moving components. And so the intro is actually my best friend talking, hey, this is Denise, you know how like back in the day they have leave a voicemail, I pick up the phone, we had a little ups and downs. So I was like, I want to channel that and I want to have it as a voicemail. And honestly, it sets the tone for the song because you kind of get a preview into the song without getting a preview. Like you kind of hear what the song's gonna be about without hearing not one lyric.
Right. Yeah.
And so when I come in, I say, I say, what's up? How are you? Where you from? You looking cute, and how's your day? What's your plans? Then his eyes, you got a man, oh word, single heart. Let's go out wherever you want. Ah, love is, love is a funny thing, can turn your joy to pain. Never will you be the same. Love is, love is, love is a funny thing. Clear blue skies into pouring rain. Kill pure love and make it hate. So I'm a little raspy, but
Oh man, good singers are always like
I
they
am.
like they can kill it and then like, oh, I just I'm rusty. I haven't
I
done it.
am. I'm a little raspy. I mean, I didn't warm up today at all. I didn't record anything today either, so I know I'm a little raspy. But I just talk about love is being a funny thing, and the funny thing, it wasn't even the original version. There's like there's a second alternative version to funny thing.
Oh, really?
Due to legal reasons, I can't release that, but
Hmm.
it's an alternative
Like with a
thing to
sample
it.
or something? Or like,
It's not a sample. It's just the beat belongs to someone else, and
oh,
so I don't want to. Yeah,
oh, I see. Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to
Oh
ruffle
yeah,
nobody's feathers and get sued
sure.
for nothing and da, 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 da,
Right.
So I
Yeah.
mean, I'm pretty sure he would be cool with me, but I still don't want to risk the chances of
Yeah.
that. So I mean, maybe down the road I'll release
Yeah.
it. As a B side, whatever. But as of right now, no. But funny thing, just talks about love, and the funny. And I say love is a funny thing. It's basically like irony. It's like, oh, this is funny. You hit me up, yeah. You played with me, you waste my time. Okay,
Mm.
love is a funny thing. This is funny. You played with me. This is real funny. It's like not like haha funny, but it's like, damn, this is irony
Yeah,
funny.
it's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. I'm ready to jump in with the music, man. All right. So I get nerdy about music stuff, man.
Me too, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, what recording software do you use to do your music?
So I can't see it right here, but I have the chaotic ball. That's right here, and I have like my padded I don't think I can show you. I have
Oh, very cool.
uh,
Oh, sweet.
I'll turn this way. Yeah, my ball here, my little padded area outside
Mhm.
of it, and then behind me I have my posters and all the good stuff. And then on to this side right here is the studio padding on the walls. So it's a lot of stuff moving around here.
Cool. Your own setup.
I'm messing my microphone. Oh boy, I have it set up because I'm kind of tall, so
Oh, yeah. Sure.
it's okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
here we
That's
go.
you can't stuff is expensive. You can't just have it.
Yeah, because it's balanced a certain way because of how tall I am, and so I know like if it's been moved or like shifted or anything like that because it'll look slightly different or you'll like lean a certain way. I'm like, nope, that ain't how I had it at first. Somebody touched it.
Mm. Okay. Very cool. So that's your setup, and yeah, what you record in like GarageBand or like Logic or
So since I'm a beginner, I use Reasons.
oh, Reason.
Um, I'm trying to branch over. Not branch over, but I'm trying to switch over to Pro Tools. I've been told by numerous friends that it's user friendly, but we'll see. I'm trying to take on the challenge. I think I'll try to teach myself in January because I feel like a lot of tutorials and a lot of like forums, information things, or videos in general are about mostly Pro Tools, and I know that it's the industry standard. So it's like, I don't want to feel pressure, but I want to check it out. I don't want to just limit myself.
Right, right. Um, yeah, I use Pro Tools. I think I can recommend two resources for you on
Okay.
YouTube. Wavy Wayne on YouTube. He's
Okay.
black man and he explains things really well. Also, the Recording Revolution.
Okay. I
Graham,
think I heard of that one before.
yeah, Graham Cochran. Yeah, so I mainly look at the Recording Revolution, just because the way he like organizes his videos and tutorials,
Okay.
it can really just take in the information well. So like Um, yeah, he helped me
Oh,
a lot with Pro Tools. Um, and yeah, I don't. For me, like when I started on it, it was my computer didn't have the right specifications, so things were slow. And but
yes, that
yeah,
was the issue for me too. When I first got my MacBook, excuse me, my MacBook, I got 2019. It was like December, and I got it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go download Pro Tools, da da da. So then my computer was so new that the update I couldn't download Pro Tools because they haven't come out with like I guess an adaptable like software for it yet. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? I've always had so many obstacles. So I'm like, no, figure it out, figure it out.
right, right,
And so
sure. And
just
it's
having reasons.
yeah, and I think I don't know, like it did feel like Pro Tools felt intimidating, and I didn't know anyone else using it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like for a year was just getting used to it and just trying stuff out. Um, yeah, but then after that year, then I felt like I could do everything I needed to, and now it does feel user friendly. And I'm like, yeah, like what was so complicated about it in the beginning?
I feel like that's how we all feel about something new. You're like, oh, I'm scared. I'm like, I don't know. And then you do it. And you're like, oh, I ain't that
Right, right,
bad.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Let me see. I think a producer that let me see. Have you heard of Illmind? The producer Illmind?
No.
He's produced for he's been around for a while, like 10 years or something, but he produced for like Drake on some songs recently and other people, but he was on the Carter's album as well. He switched from Pro Tools, I think maybe the reason. Maybe the reason he might have switched from
Really?
yeah. So I want to check,
Okay.
but he definitely switched from Pro Tools to something else. And he was like
Oh,
the
okay.
top producer, the only hip hop producer I saw that was using Pro Tools. I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna use Pro Tools. And then he recently switched. So
Oh.
yeah, so it might be Reason. What's it like? Yeah, recording on Reason.
Um, I feel like so I was first exposed to it about I think in 2018 when I was working with one of my coworkers, producers, and I was like, what are you using? And so she was like, well, I'm using Reasons. And so at the time she had like Reasons 10, I think. So I have 11. So she was using 10. So I was like, okay, I was kind of like, trying to sneak a peek at what she was doing. I wasn't there to, learn. I was there to record and, and
Yeah,
try to produce some music. But I'm like, okay, click on it. Okay. Watching her from the side of
right.
my eye. And
Mhm.
so, and then, we had a brief moment where we started talking about stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well, I should probably do my own research and figure out, if I can learn it myself. And so I forgot that, for about a little while, all about it. So then when COVID had happened, and so I was like, okay, well, what am I going to use to record? And so then I was like, oh, I can use what she was using that day.
Right,
And
yeah.
so, and I seen that they had a newer update. So I'm like, okay. So now I went and I downloaded it, and then I'm not a producer. Like I don't know like how to make beats at the time. So then I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. Like I don't know. I know how much to sound, but I don't know how I can get there.
Mhm.
So I started playing with it, and then um I was like, my major issue was timing. Like, if it's da 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 da, like stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, if I'm doing on the keys like that, it's like, okay, if I did it one time, how do I duplicate it? How do I make sure the spacing is right? How do I snap it to this part? So it was a lot of components that I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so I got over that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna figure this shit out.
Yeah, right.
And so I went in and I started playing with stuff and started throwing stuff together and mixing stuff and mixing stuff and mashing stuff
Mhm.
and just became D Gibbs. I mean, it's
Hey,
not a genre.
ooh, individual. Good for
Yeah,
you.
it's me.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it's me.
Mhm. Wow, wow. And um, yeah, and people, I don't think, yeah, I mean, the software you use really doesn't matter. It's really just whatever is easiest for you to get your ideas out, you know. And clearly, you've been able to do that, with Love Me Now.
Yeah, the funny thing is, from my research, because I've kind of like went on a bender, I guess you could say, of just learning things and going to our beautiful free public college YouTube, and I just research stuff. I'm like a sponge. I'm always soaking things in, and from my research, basically, people were saying that it doesn't honestly really matter what software it is, as long as the talent is there, as long as the skill is there. Like I was reading somewhere a couple months ago that um Billie Eilish did her entire album in her bedroom, and I think
Like one of
some
Grammy.
other yeah, and another artist had did like I forgot. I think it was I don't know if it was Juice WRLD or if it was Lil Uzi Vert. One of the rappers, it was like they did the entire album in GarageBand. Now, mind you, I can't do GarageBand because I can't do GarageBand.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter the software. It can be the industry standard Pro Tools, or it can be something else, Ableton, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
As long as the skill's there.
It really doesn't matter. And also, yeah, I mean, not to like, talk down on Reason, because Reason is one of the major software.
No, I be seeing I be following some of the music social medias, and they're like, "Oh, Reason, who uses Reason? Oh, like it's a cockroach or something." Like, damn, it ain't that bad. They acting like, "Oh, we see Reason in your house." Damn. Okay, I know it's beginner. Damn, give me a chance.
I mean, but yeah, it's all about getting your ideas out. Let me see. So do you use like how do you come up with like the instrumentation and stuff?
I just go into it's like it's different settings on Reason, and so there's like different little like subcategories you would go under, and so there's a lot of different instruments, and so I think I just go in first I write the song, so then I go into it with okay, this is what I'm gonna talk about. Sometimes I'll blindly go into it, and I'll blindly go in and make a beat like, okay, I want to do something fun today. So I make this oh, you know what? This beat is fun. This song should go with this. So it honestly depends on how I feel in the moment. Like I just did a song yesterday called Playa, and it just talks about, being a player. You want to go out, you want to have some fun. And so being a player.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, with the instrumentation and with like the video, the bad guy videos, like, yeah, no, they sound really good. I thought, well, and the video looks, really good too. So I was
Thank
curious,
you.
if someone else had done those, and yeah, here, you're telling me that you did it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't film myself, so I had some of my friends to film me. But as far as in like directing them, because I'm dropping the behind the scenes of Bad Guy tomorrow,
Oh, nice.
so you'll see like me doing come closer, come closer, or me singing stuff in the video, or me being weird, whatever, me doing something. So you'll see like me basically playing all the roles, being the actor and the artist and the director, and it just worked out. I mean, I had fun with the video.
You're very talented, man. You're literally overall artist.
I mean, I honestly try to not mold myself, but I try to make sure that I am. I hate to use this comparison, but you know how like when you have a bagel and you want to put some cream cheese on it, you want to spread it all around and make sure that bagel is good. That's how I feel. I want to make sure that I'm overall an artist. I don't want to be like, oh, I can do this and that's it. Okay.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I understand. What song are you excited about for the album? Probably, I mean, I'm sure you're excited about most of them, or like all of them, but maybe
What
what's
song?
sticks out to you?
What song that I'm excited about the most? Like the number one song?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure all the songs you're excited. It's just, your project, your album.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Or like, which one do you like? Maybe of the songs that haven't come out yet, like like, oh, when y'all hear this, like y'all gonna think, whoa, like.
I would say I honestly would say I would say bedroom.
Mm, bedroom.
Because it has so many different elements to it. It's kind of like has a cosmic feel to it, because it talks about basically sex. It talks about sex, but it talks about
So elevates you to the
yeah,
cosmos. Huh?
yeah. It talks about sex, but it talks about um basically like, with being a guy, you're like, oh yeah, I got you, the guy talk is like, oh yeah. So
Right, yeah.
yeah,
Like
so
the
I feel
confident,
like
like, oh, like, talking that talk. Yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of like what bedroom is about. So I'm excited about that, and also, I mean, the stacking on that thing is, oh, that was tedious. It was, I think it's like three, 4 times the stacked for that's just for the chorus. So I'm just like, okay, but it's fun, and it's cosmic, and it's catchy, and it's yeah,
Well,
it's just all around fun.
man, I'm excited to listen to that one.
Oh, and I also forgot another major person who influenced me, and I can't believe I almost forgot to say her name. So in the recent year, and then with me crafting Let Me Now, one of my biggest inspirations is Tina Turner.
Tina Turner, tell me about her inspiration.
So not more so her earlier stuff with Ike and Ike and Tina review, not more so that, but like her stuff from from 1980, like 5 up to like 1990, 98.
Really?
That stuff, if you ever go, oh my God. Oh my gosh. And I never was like, a huge Tina Turner fan. Until one day, I go on this bender sometimes where I'm like, okay, Jerry Levert. Oh, I like Jerry Levert. Let's go listen to his entire catalog. What can I find that, I call it the hidden treasures. The songs that, they don't release to, as a single, the songs they just have on the album. And so those become the hidden treasures that nobody knows about, but be, the fans' favorite. And so I went and I listened to her albums. I was like, whoa, it's so many great songs that she has that she just, never released. And of course, you can't release everything from the album, but it was amazing for me to hear, and also her transition with each decade, how the sounds, it changed from the 80s, it was a lot of synthesizing, and drums and to the 90s. It was a little more it was a little more, I would say, grown. It was a little more like sexy and sophisticated, but it was still her, and it was like a lot of more of I would say guitars, and it was a lot more I would say not more so percussions, but it was still her style, but it was toned down some. So it was fun, and I was influenced by her, especially her album Break Every Rule. Her album Break Every Rule, after that followed her album from Private Dancer. Um, Break Every Rule, great album, and her album Dancing in My Dreams, was it? Yeah, Dancing in My Dreams. That one I liked I like a little bit, but it was pure R&B, pure R&B. If you R&B to the core, this is the Dancing in My Dreams. And then her album 24/7, and yeah, her album 24/7 is real funky.
Oh, okay.
It's like just crazy.
Oh man, man, I have to listen to those two.
Oh yeah, definitely. There is so many different elements to it. Like it has like her growing sexy side, but it also has like her fun beat side. It has her stellar, her iconic raw screeching vocals on it. So she influenced me because honestly, I like upbeat music sometimes. I mean, I like slow music. That can be slow and R&B, but I like something to make you move, like something funky, something. Give it to me hot. Get like something, that will make you feel something.
Yeah.
So
right.
that's
Definitely. Ooh. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, and Tina. Yeah, Tina's
oh yeah,
mm-hmm.
oh yeah.
Wow. Um. Hmm. Yeah. What do you want people to take away from Love Me Now?
Hmm. What I want people to take away from Love Me Now, that in its perfectly imperfect ways, it tells a story, and behind it, I mean, yes, I'm the, I guess you would say I'm the messenger boy. I I want them to take away, whoever listens to it, if there's one person or 500 people, I don't really care. But as long as, you take away the message from it, is that no matter how you may feel about yourself or how you may feel about others or how you may feel your life is going, never give up. And I want them to know that there's somebody out there who understands what they're going through. So you're never alone in the world. No matter how alone you may feel, just just pick up a D Gibbs song. You will be all right. I promise you. Because whatever you feel like you may be going through, I've been there before. And we can talk about it together. For the song, talk about it together. And
Man.
so just never give up on yourself, and never give up on the hope that you will find love, if that's your ML right now, or you will get out of that, toxic relationship you're in, or you will be fine if you're going through first parent syndromes, or you'll be fine if you went through a bad breakup. Like you will be okay. So there's always light at the end of the tunnels. That's what I want people to take away from it. There always will be a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how hard you may think. You may be like, oh, I can't see. I see a little dime size of it.
Yeah,
That's,
definitely.
that's,
For
that's
sure.
okay. If you see the dime size, guess what? That means it's there. It means
Um,
there.
yeah,
Keep
definitely.
working for it.
Ooh, I really love that. That's a much needed message. Mm, mm,
Absolutely. And that's what I do it for. I do it. I mean, I don't do music for the fame, for the money, and all that stuff. That's nice for if it comes along for me. If that's for me, that's cool. But I do it for the people, for the kids, behind me, for the generation behind me who feel like you didn't have anybody that's they can identify with. I mean, growing up, I didn't really have that too much. I didn't really see anybody weirdly dressed. This is the early 2000s. Who do you see
right.
was weirdly dressed? Nobody. Everybody was into the R&B scene and being too cool, LL Cool J,
Yeah.
Rihanna, that scene, just that's what it was.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until Gaga came and kind of switched it up a little bit. And then, you had other people who came like Nicki Minaj, and then you had um so many other different people who are like, I'm weird, I like it. And then you had Outkast who came and was like, oh, it was a different time, but still, I feel like I couldn't identify with anybody.
Mhm.
I don't know why.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel like our generation is really just interesting because it was so when we were coming up, it was so narrow about
Yeah,
what you could be,
yeah,
what you could look like, or
yep,
not what you could, but like in terms of mainstream, what was represented, and yeah, essentially like looking at what we could be.
yeah. It
And
wasn't there. And so the funny thing is now that guys, these male rappers, they dress weird, they wear, fingernail polish and toenail polish, and wear purses and bikinis. I'm like, okay, cool. Hey, do what you do. I mean, but I'm saying from my standpoint, me growing up, I didn't have that. So now it's fortunate that the kids growing up do have that. So I think a celebration of difference is a little more, it's a little more, I guess you would say, normal, and that's a good thing. And so I just do it for the people who feel like they don't see anybody that looks like them. I'm a brown boy from Maryland who grew up kind of poor. I didn't grow up dirt poor. I didn't grow up super rich. I grew up, teetering that line of we gonna eat tonight or we may eat tonight. So I do it for the people who feel like, dang, can I really do this? Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. You
mm,
can do it.
man, I love it. Yeah, that's much needed, man. Man. No, that's great. I mean, mm,
That's what I do it for. I don't do it for anything else. That's what I do it for.
what else about the album do you want to share?
Oh, what else about the album? Well, the intermissions in between the album are spoken word,
Oh, okay.
and the spoken words, it kind of, it sews up the songs in between each element. Like the intro, I say, does it what I say? I say, is it my hair, the coils and kinks, or my melanin that fills every crease? My culture and how I speak, does it shock you that I can articulate past what's up, G? Listen, check out this. There's no risk but pure love and bliss. This is the ideal feel to make you see. I wrap every package individually. No birthday, holiday, or celebration. This black man's talent, will you embrace it? So stuff like that I say. And so it sews up, what's to come next. So you're like, okay, oh, okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me scratch my, wait a minute. So it's fun.
Yeah. Let me see. I feel like we've touched on this, but how do you come up with the different concepts?
Oh man, this brain of mine, you don't even want to be inside of it right now. I don't think it's even in Maryland right now. I think it's probably somewhere in Barbados. I come up with the concepts. I just get inspired by so much so much things. My environment, my experiences, my family, my friends, my just the weather. I get inspired.
Yeah.
The season, the season, yeah, the season.
Yeah,
I have a song called Summer Romance. That's my catalog. It's called Summer Romance, and I written that on a car drive to. We went to Rehoboth Beach this summer, so I say. Let's say we had a summer romance, summer romance, summer romance. We had summer romance, summer romance, summer romance. So, and I just written that on a card to see how beautiful the sky was. It was summertime, summer romance.
Yeah.
So I get inspired. I guess I just get influenced by everything. Another song it's called Have You. It's called Have You parentheses Your Key, and I written that in the drive-through of Wendy's. I was listening to a Brandy song, and I was like, have you ever? So then I went, okay. Have you ever checked about me lately? Have you ever asked how my day went? Have you on check on my mental health? No, that ever might as well go on a date with self. Did you stop and realize I'm your angel in the skies? I'm done. I'm gone by finally. Muster up the courage to go and walk away as I stumble slowly down the driveway. Left hand full of liquor, right one with my suitcase, and it's all good, cause I will be okay. Oh, here's your keys, go and take both sets. I buy a new house, cause 01 is full of regrets. It's full of regrets. So, yeah. Yeah. And have you is actually it's actually done. So that will be part of my free download when subscribers sign up for my email listing. So you'll be able to get that full thing. It's really dope. Oh yeah.
Oh, great. I feel like, what's really sticking out to me, about you is, the things, your art just has a lot of thought behind it and these concepts in there, they're full concepts, and you're able to use these different mediums to essentially bring out and like showcase these concepts in there, and you're able to touch on, the concepts aren't confined to one thing. It's like, in various areas.
No. Yeah. It's so many different themes, and it's so many different subject matters that I'm always thinking about. Like I have a song called James Brown. I was like, showstopper, smooth talker, jaw dropper, soul popper. Call me James Brown. Ooh, James Brown. Yeah, say what? James Brown. it's crazy.
Man, man, that's really exciting. So, you know, you picked how many songs are on the album about?
Um, it's 10 songs.
10?
It's 10. It's technically it's 7 songs, and it's intro, interlude, and outro.
Okay. Yeah, so, hmm, you know, interested since you know, you chose these songs as the collection for this album, Love Me Now, and you say you also have 50 songs as well. Were those made afterward? Like, how did you decide on these particular ones to start off with? Are the 50 like you just, you know, working and creating and, you know, you'll decide what to do with those later? Like, tell me about.
Um, so I did the album first. I did all the songs for the album first, and then when I had a thought the album was done. I thought it was done in like June. That didn't happen. So kind of took a little brief moment, a step away from it because I was kind of trying to, not to get burnt out. And so I went and I was like, I want to do something fun. I want to do something that, that's not making me feel like it's work. You feel like it's work when you got to make sure that this sounds good. And this, this reverb's here and this, da, da, da. So
Mhm.
I just went and like, what? I have all these songs that I've written, I just need to just focus on that for a minute. And so I churned out, I was like, oh man, I churned out um between August of this year, from June to August, I had 23 songs done.
Oh,
So if you do the math on that, roughly it's about 2 songs a day, 3 songs a day.
wow.
So I would do 2. I'll wake up in the morning, do instrument, do, put it in there. I mean, they're not done, but the concept is there, and the vocals are there, and the choruses are there, and the background, like, everything's there. Like, it's just not studio. It's not like ready, but it's the idea is there. And so, and once the idea is there, to me, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because that's the easy part. That's the hard part, to be
Right.
honest.
Mhm.
Make sure you have the vocals laid there, and make sure that everything flows right. Make sure the background's there. That's the hard part. The
Mhm.
easy part is going back in, cleaning up the tracks, EQing it, putting reverb on, delay, da da da. That's the easy stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, the stuff that, you know, the hard stuff you talk about is the song, you know, that's
Yeah,
the meat of it. Yeah.
yeah. That's the meat. Right, that's the meat. That's the meat and the potatoes, everything. Everything else is the side, the carrots, da 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 da, the salad, all that. That's easy stuff.
Yeah.
So from June to August, yeah, I did like 23 songs. So then from June to now, it's about 50.
Mm.
I slowed down a little bit with the album to make sure that I was focusing on that. It was fun too, and then I was like, okay, now I'm getting to this stage again where I'm like, okay, I'm fuck this work again, so I got to do something. Have to have another creative outlet. So I was like, yeah, let's do it again. So then I have so much stuff that's already written, and so I basically worked on Player yesterday, and so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm really excited. Um, one to hear "Love Me Now" and the stuff you have coming out there too. Yeah.
Yes, Love Me Now. It's like I say in my website. I think I probably cleared it off because I'm basically doing construction on it this weekend to kind of get it ready for release day on Monday. But basically just a declaration of who I am, and it's a declaration of emotion and just a sense of security. Like, you may feel like, I don't know if I want to do this music thing. Oh, no, I'm nervous. It's like, nope, do it. If you feel like you have a story that needs to be told to the world, do it. You feel like you have a voice that you feel like the world needs to hear, do it. 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 I'm like just a kid. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Oh, man. Mhm. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, we touched on the concepts. We touched on, you know, "Love Me Now." We touched on your influences. You know, even
Yeah,
what's
I
coming.
mean, my sound is honestly, it's like 80s. 80s.
And
It's 80s. I mean, it's 80s, and it's not like hardcore, like it's like not 80s. It's like you'll hear the influences of the 80s in my music because I mean, I was just fascinated with the era. I mean, the era was it was. I was telling my photographer that I was working with over the weekend. I said, 80s was all about. It was the 80s was different because people weren't afraid to play with sounds and to play with diction of words, or to play with the just they wasn't afraid to play with the beats, or to play with the drums, or with the percussions, or to play with the pianos. They wasn't afraid to play with that kind of stuff. So now music's a little more scaled down a little bit, because you know everything is kind of being recycled and done. And so I feel like 80s for me was like, it was such a creative time. And so I feel like for me to, you know, me being creative, I feel like that was just something that era was something I really resonate with. I resonate with the 90s as well, the early 2000s, but I feel like the 80s, like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I mean, your references are the greats as well.
Yeah, I mean, Whitney Houston, come on now. Whitney Houston? I mean, I don't got a voice like Whitney. Now, there's only one Whitney, you know. I will always love you. I can't hit that note. It's cool. That ain't me.
It's Whitney, you know what I mean?
That's West Whitney. That ain't me. But her power, her stage presence is what I feel like I was infatuated with. And I feel like I can take that from her and use it for my own stuff. And then with Mariah, her pen game's crazy. Mariah's pen game is crazy.
I'm sleeping on her pen game right now.
Man, her pen game. If you ever check out the song called Bet You Gonna Know. Bet You Gonna Know. She literally paints the story in the lyrics, like front to back. And you're like, wait a minute. It's like you would think that you're like reading a movie script, but she's singing it. And it's like, whoa. So since listening to that song, I was like, damn, I gotta step my pen game up. Oh, I gotta step my pen game up.
I love that. Oh, okay. Definitely gotta listen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Luther, like the baritone. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. His love songs. Oh yeah. Tina, the craziness, the rawness. Toni, the sexiness, the sultriness. Absolutely. Brandy, the airiness, the lightness, the vocal Bible. She's the vocal Bible. The vocal Bible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Definitely. What else do the people need to know?
Oh man.
I mean, if we can keep going, like diving deep into the songs.
Yeah, I'm down for it. What else they need to know? Love Me Now is just the start of what I can do. It's just the start. Honestly, it's on my best work, yes, but it's not. I'm gonna say that. It's some of my best work, yes. But it's so much more to come, and it's so much more that I have to offer, and it's so much more stories I have begun. I can't even like tell you like how much content I've been writing and producing, and the stuff to come. It's gonna top Let Me Now. Let Me Now is good. Let Me Now is good. But what's to come? Wow. You're like, damn, this boy crazy. This boy is insane. Did he say that? He already said that. Okay.
I mean, yeah, it seems like, the work speaks for itself. I mean, the fact that, you learned about production engineering in that short amount of time to, that level, and that you've written so many songs since essentially that project in another short amount of time. It's like, clearly, of course, like there's going to just be so much great stuff.
Yeah.
The more you do, it's just going to keep improving, and you're going to be able to get your concepts out.
Yeah, it's like a jungle. You gotta cut through the vines to get through. We gotta get to, and I feel like that's what it was. Like I have to figure this out. This is what I want to do. This is I was made to do this, and I can't even stress that enough. I was born to be an artist because I just have a creative gene inside of me. It's like I can't focus on regular stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And now we spark conversation about music. Oh, I'm there. Who did what?
Mm-hmm. What? Correct. Yeah. I mean, since starting this podcast has just been really, exciting for me to, just get to know talented, artists and independent artists. And I think, independent artists, of course, like they don't have the exposure and they don't, really get
Yeah.
to get their shine. So
Yeah.
um, it's really
Yet.
great for me. Yes. Well, yeah, for
Because
sure.
Rico Nasty is an independent artist, and I'm well, not more so anymore. I think she signed to a label, but when she was like independent, I was like, yeah, like do it. And I was reading an article just a couple of days ago, and it basically was saying that being an independent artist is kind of um I guess it's one of the vital stages because you have to basically learn how to do everything in like a small budget. And when your label was with the label, you're like, okay, well, hey, here's $50,000, make this video happen. Okay, cool. So
Right.
okay, when you're indie's like, okay, I got $100.
Mhm.
What can I get with that?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely shout out to Rico Nasty DMV, Right.
Yeah, Rico Nasty. Also like Dreamy Sinatra, I think his name is on Instagram. He's
Oh,
dope.
yeah, he is really dope. Yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Who else I like? That's some great DMV people.
Def-
It's yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for them and for me.
What you say?
Now I said I'm excited for them and for me. Like,
Mhm.
it's enough room for everybody.
For sure, for sure. I'm always excited to see there's so much talent in the DMV area, and it's really exciting.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'm excited for you as well. I'm like really
Thank
excited,
you.
yeah, like, genuinely to see Love Me Now and also what else you have in store too. I'm excited to follow your journey.
Well, speaking of whatever else I have, I was gonna
Oh,
wait,
let us know.
but I will be releasing my first Christmas album this
Oh, good.
November too.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, you're on it. You're like being very productive. You're being very prolific.
Yeah, I just felt like excuse me. I just felt like this is my time. And so it just why not do it? I mean, we have all the literally have all the time. What else we gonna do?
We're
Like we're stuck
inside.
inside our house. Right. We're inside. What else we gonna do?
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, the holiday season's coming along and I want to bump to my own Christmas music. And I love Christmas music. I love the traditional, the trumpets, the horns, the jingle, sorry, it's the police officer. The jingle bells, all that good stuff. I love.
Mhm.
And okay, I'm sorry. I'm like trying to get.
Oh, yeah. I mean, is everything cool over there?
He's like driving down the street. I live across the street from a shopping center, so he's like cut to the shopping center. Um, but yeah, I like traditional Christmas music, and I have a top 5 for holiday albums, and so
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
oh, a top 5. Okay, so a top 5. Okay,
On the spot.
so yes, um, my top 5 albums. I would say number 5 would be kind of 5, 4. No, 5, 5. Okay, 5.
All right.
So number 5 would be Toni Braxton's a Snowflake of Love. I
Mm,
discovered that like in high school. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a Christmas album. It's crazy. Um, oh my gosh. Number 4 would be Luther Vandross. I think it's called A Christmas Miracle or something like that. It's really good. Here I am every day, every Christmas. Um, Number 3 would be Whitney Houston's I think it's called One Wish. Her Christmas album is really good. Her version of First Noel, whoo, something crazy. Number 2, I would say would be Natalie Cole's Holly and Ivy Christmas album. It's like jazz inspired, but it's also traditional and she has a little bit of choir up in there. I'm like, okay. And I think my number 1 Christmas album would be Toni Braxton's Lover's Land.
Okay. Winter's love. Winter.
Yeah, that's dope.
Wow.
So I was like,
I just knew you were
yeah.
gonna say Mariah Carey on
Ah, so to me, I like All for Christmas Is You, but I never listened to her Christmas albums all the way through. I just feel like her Christmas. Oh my god, nah, I'm trying to be killed by the lambs. All I'm gonna say is I never
I know,
listened
but
to the Christmas album. I gotta catch myself. Nah,
right,
no,
this
no,
is
no.
like public record right now.
I'm gonna just say I never listened to her Christmas album all the way through entirely. I've heard increments of her Christmas songs on her projects. I think she has 2 Christmas albums. I never listened to one all the way through. That's what I will say. But
I mean,
yeah.
you've cited her as one of your
Oh
biggest.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She one of my influences. Her pen is crazy, and her high notes are crazy, and her resilience is crazy. Like, just keep coming back, keep back for more. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
So yeah, Christmas album's coming in November, and I'm super excited. And it's non-traditional. It's not traditional at all.
Oh, non-traditional.
Non-traditional. It's not like come. It's not like silent. No, no.
Is it so?
No.
It's gonna have a contemporary sound.
Yes, it's gonna be. Excuse me. It's gonna be. It's gonna be. It's gonna have different flavors still. Like Love Me Now. It's like I feel like I would say it's like Love Me Now's little brother holiday version. It's still me, still Gibbs, it's still my sound, but it's just my spin on traditional Christmas songs. And I have four covers and then 5 originals. So I'm giving you a little bit more. I'm giving you a little bit of me, and there's still a little bit of what you are used to hearing. Some of your old good favorites. So it's fun.
I see. Oh, very cool. Very cool. You're on it. You've been working.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna release this information until November, but I mean, we're about 2 weeks away, so
True.
yeah, it's coming. It's coming soon.
Oh, that's great. I'm excited to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun, and honestly, I wanted to do a Christmas album. Like, I wanted to do something where it's like, it's great that you could put it on and listen to it all the way through, and you're gonna have those songs where it's real slow and sexy, and it's what you're used to as far as in Christmas music. It's some slow bops in there where you're like, okay, I can drink my eggnog and chill out. And then you have someone be like, oh, you know what? It's Christmas Eve. It's the morning Christmas Eve. Let me put this on right now and go shower to it. You like, oh yeah, deck the halls with bells falling. La, 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 la. You're like getting it.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So and again, so it's you're thinking about the flow of it and the energy that you're bringing. The progression
Yeah.
of the project as well.
And honestly, I feel like it's something that I've never heard before. Christmas music is like, it's only done one way. People know it's only done one way. Traditional horns, keys, the bells and all that good stuff. And there's bells in mine too, but it's not like, okay, all right, this is a Christmas album. It's a little slow and it's like a little small climax and it's the rest of being slow. No, nope. That's not it at all. It's fun.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to that. A little, you brought up an interesting point about, being an independent artist and, that developmental stage in terms of, and even you yourself had to, develop a lot of skills out of necessity, in terms of
Yeah, I
production,
mean,
mastering.
I don't mix and master my own stuff. I don't do that. I'm gifted in a lot of things, but not that. I had to draw a line. So
Yeah.
I send that out to my producer.
Huh.
But other things I do as far as all my cover art, I do all my own cover art. And what else I do? I mean, I do everything else. I do everything else. Just not that. I'm like, okay, this is the fat line.
Sure. And it's it's I think it is the best time for artists to be able to stand on their own and to be able to create their own music and put it out themselves.
Yeah, I would say it's a great time when you're an introvert for sure, because you're used to being by yourself and you can get things done. I will also say the flip side too is when you are an indie artist, you have a lot of things that you're taking on, and sometimes it can be a little taxing physically, emotionally, mentally. It's a lot of things that you're like, you deal with on a daily basis. And somehow, as independent artists, we find the courage and the strength to keep going every single day. And I can honestly say that, like, it's some days are better than others. Some days you're like, oh, what is this? What am I doing? This is horrible. This is crap. I don't know what I'm doing. This sounds off key. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. No, it is taxing. Doing everything yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there are moments and times where it's like, exciting, of course, to be learning new things, but then it is like, a lot to have to do everything, So, and every element of everything. So I think, even
Yes.
the things that you can put to other people, I think that's really great, and to um, it helps the music overall. It helps our own well-being as well.
Yeah.
It helps.
I honestly cannot imagine doing my own mixing and mastering, because I'm I'm writing the songs, I'm producing myself, and then I'm putting all the plugins on, I'm putting the reverbs and delays and you turn it, and I'm already pre-mixing the instrument, the beats before I send it to them. So
Yeah,
I'm mixing to a certain point. I'm preliminary mixing.
you
So
are.
they're just going in, and mastering and tweaking it. So that's already, a lot in a nutshell. In the fact that with my Christmas album, I just finished it, like, I think 2 weeks ago, and
Mm.
I knocked out. I think I did like 3 songs in one day. That was my schedule. Like, wake up, do 3 in one day, try to get them mixed, mastered, gates, like, get them done.
Yeah. Mm. Ooh. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot.
So,
It's a lot, but it's rewarding when you see something that you've been working on, or something that you had inside you to be given to the world for consumption. It's like, you're like, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this. How you gonna perceive it? You're a little nervous, but then you realize what you're doing it for, and so it's like, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking today about how personal music is, but one, it's when the stories are personal and they're literally coming out of your brain, your heart, your inner whole self. That's already really personal. And then to sing, have your voice, like our voice, kind of can be can feel like the manifestations, of ourselves, of our being, and of course, like the music. And when you do everything, it's like, yeah, like I decided that this sounds good. So much of ourselves goes into the songs. We're doing it like that. So when
Yep.
someone doesn't like it or something, then it can feel like you really don't like me.
Yeah. You feel like a little like personally attacked, and it's
But
like, you can't feel that way. And it's like, I try to keep that in mind. Like, okay, it's not they don't personally like me. It's that something in the song they couldn't resonate with, or something in the song that turned them off, or something in the video they didn't like. It's like, okay, well, that's fine. There's something out there for everybody, and they just don't. They won't.
right.
They won't.
Yeah.
They won't like it. That's cool.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And I thought the same thing as well. Like, something like, if, like, for example, if I'm singing like a Jack Johnson singer-songwriter song, but they're listening to like some Afrobeats thing, then clearly like we're on different frequencies right now. And it's not, a different, it's not, it's not that they don't like me as the person, it's just the vibes that they're on and that their body is attuned to is different. And also, we are more than our songs as well. Like there's more to us than our music, and clearly we
Absolutely.
act and things like that. So, how do you keep going, and what do you tell yourself if you're feeling like having, maybe some doubts or feeling discouraged?
Um, what I tell myself, um, that's a good one. Oh, you got you stumped on that one. What I tell myself, I tell myself that for a long time, honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life for a long time. I knew I wanted to be a celebrity. I knew I wanted to, be in the limelight, and I wanted to, drive all the, the cool cars, and and all the nice clothing, all the good stuff. But when I got into college, and I thought that interior design was going to be my path, and so I just thought, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna do, do. And so when I found out music is my passion, it's my first love, it's like music, modeling, and like it's like music and then acting and modeling like this, neck and neck. But music is like right there in the front ground. So I feel like I have to keep reminding myself that this is what I was born to do, and nothing feels more right than writing a song and then going and laying down those vocals, and no matter how bad it may be early in the morning, because they got to warm them up. They're like a car in the winter. You gotta keep warm. And so when I put a song together and I hear that playback and I hear how that lead vocal flows with that instrument, those instruments, and I hear that background coming, and I'm like, boy, no one's going to ever do it like me, because there's only one of you. There's only one of you in the world, so no one's ever made the same. We're all different. We're all part of a human race. Yes, we're all the same, but we're different. We have distinct differences. And so when I hear a song in playback, and I go, you know what? I may not sound like Brandy, or I may not sound like Luther, I may not sound like Toni, I may not sound like Whitney, I may not sound like Mariah, but I sound like D. Gibbs. And I was born to do this. Was it good? Because if I wasn't born to do this, it wouldn't feel good. It wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like me having fun and creating an idea, me just putting it out. It doesn't feel like, I gotta do this. Click, click, click. I gotta do this. Drag that over. I gotta do this. It don't feel like that. It feels like, I want to do this. Oh my God. Oh, so many ideas. Oh, I'll put this here. Oh, that sounds dope there. Oh, let's put that there. It doesn't feel like work at all when I'm working in the studio at all.
Yeah, sounds like you're speaking on, this as purpose, and it just really resonates with your being.
Yeah. It took me a while to get there, but when I just tell myself, you were born to do this, and I tell myself, if you want this bad enough, you are going to make a way to make it happen. And for a long time, I just was like, when you're make excuses, you're like, oh, I can't do this, or oh, I don't have the money for this, or oh, I can't do this, or this happened because of this, and oh, my childhood, oh, you told me I was this, and oh, I look like this, and no, if you want this bad enough and you're hungry enough to get it, you're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
So that's what I keep telling myself, and I also tell myself who I do it for. Those three things. I tell myself I made for this, and I tell myself that who I do it for. And who I do it for is for them Black boys and for them Black girls. It's not a race thing, but it just me. I can identify. I'm a Black man. I do it for the Black boys and for the Black girls who feel like they don't have nobody out there that they can identify with. You can identify with me. Yeah. That's what I do it for.
I love it. Yeah, definitely. I feel like let us do, some closing remarks, some closing things that, anything you wanna do, anything you wanna say.
Anything I want to say. Anything I want to say. I want to say that this is today's October.
Yeah,
today's October 20th. Today's October 20th, 2020, and I will be a successful artist in the span of 2 years or less. You will never go anywhere without hearing my name or hearing my music. So I want to say that now, because I'm going to put that into the atmosphere and into the universe, because I know it to be true. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay, I love it. You're a talented overall artist, and clearly you're putting in, so much work. And it's doesn't feel like work, because this is, the reason that you're here, and you enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
And I look forward to hearing more. And you're putting it into the universe, and you're putting
absolutely
action behind it. So yeah.
I mean, I try, was when you're so long making excuses, and then you're just like, oh shoot, there's nothing else for me to be having excuses for. We're locked inside of our houses like every day,
Right,
all
right.
day, every day, all day. You
Yeah.
can't go outside. We're gonna die. Like, what
Mhm.
are we gonna do?
And you have all
So
the tools to get all of your ideas out.
yeah, so I just keep going, and I'm so excited for Let Me Now, October 26th, 20, what is this, October 26th, 2020, and for my Christmas album to come out this November. I'm thinking I'm thinking the week of Thanksgiving.
The week of Thanksgiving. Okay,
Yes.
great.
So we're coming. We're coming.
Yes,
We're coming.
coming. And where can people follow you and how can they support you?
Oh, people can follow me on Twitter at DGibsX, as well as Instagram. Same thing, DGibs, DGIBSX. My name is D Gibbs, but the X is silent. Hope it doesn't confuse people.
Mhm.
But my YouTube, DGibsX2. My Facebook, I think it's the same thing, DGibsX. Yeah, I'm all over. Same thing, DGibsX. That's me.
Okay.
Just check me out. Give me a listen. Give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Let me know why you hate it. Let me know why you love it. I don't get offended anymore. Anymore.
Okay, great, everybody. So stream Love Me Now and follow D Gibbs.
Yes,
And,
sir.
when November comes around and you're, around eating with your family, bump in the Christmas album.
Yes, I'm so excited. It won't even feel like a Christmas album. It's like a regular, it's like just music. But when you listen to the lyrics, you're like, oh, he's talking about Christmas.
Mhm.
Oh shoot.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
rapping in there, some rapping, some breaking in there, some
Okay.
pop in there.
Hey,
It's a lot of in there.
cool. Oh, that's great. Yeah, well, thank you again for coming on to Harmonic Heart to share your
Thank you.
journey and talk to us about your album.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm just looking forward to the world just consuming Love Me Now, and just know that it's a part of me. So when you listen to these songs, you're listening to a thought of D Gibbs, because you have to have a thought in order to have an idea, in order to write it down, in order to produce it, in order to create it, in order to put it out to the world. So it starts off as a thought. Listen to D Gibbs' thoughts.
Well, yes, everyone, follow and stream D Gibbs.
Yes, sir. Thank you.